In an attempt to add an adjustable weight bench to your home gym, the one that's probably gonna be on the top of your list somewhere, or at least you're gonna see it a lot in your research, is this guy. This is the Rogue Adjustable Bench 3.0. When this came out, a lot of people were into it. We were too, it's a great bench. It has since had a ton of clones.
I commissioned the clones.
And you may realize this bench design is great, but the price may not work for you. So today, I'm gonna talk through this one along with all the clones and tell you which one of the clones in the Clone War,
the Clone War may soon be over,
is the best to choose. Let's do it. Hey guys, it's Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. Today I'm talking about this bench and all the others. This is a ladder style adjustable bench. If you're looking for an adjustable bench, you're gonna see this one probably a lot. Anytime you look up any of the other benches, this one, because Rogue probably spends a lot on ads, on Google ads, you're gonna see this one. You're gonna see it recommended a lot too, and I think for good reason. But if this is your first time here and you like benches or are looking for home gyms, make sure you subscribe because we have other bench comparisons coming out all the time. And also, if you want more bench reviews, hit the like button and let me know in the comments. But this bench specifically has a lot going for it that other benches have since basically taken ideas from and tried to make it cheaper. One reason that this bench is more expensive than many of the others is the fact that it's made in the USA. It's also using probably thicker gauge steel than many of the others, has a higher weight capacity, those sorts of things. And I do think this is definitely a bench worth buying. It's a bench that's gonna last a long time. It's a very, very good bench. But if you don't really care necessarily about the fact that it's made in the USA, there are so many benches that are very similar in design to this from companies that many of them you probably never even heard of. So, although I recommend this bench, let me show you some of the clones. I've got these basically ranked from most expensive to least expensive. We actually have a bench that's more expensive than the Rogue one. That's a very similar design from Stray Dog. But honestly, you're looking for more budget options. These are really what you should be looking at. First one is and that's why today's video is brought to you by Home Gym Club Training. Home Gym Club Training is powered by Boost Camp. We partner with Boost Camp to basically offer their app for our audience on GarageGymReviews.com. If you'd like a 2-week free trial to the Pro plan, you can click the link below the like button. And if you would like to maximize the beautiful gym equipment that you have in your home gym using programs from people like Jim Windler, 531, Dr. Eric Helms, and our friend Brandon Campbell Diamond, you can check it out at the link below the like button. First one is the Xmark Blackhawk bench. Now, one thing you'll notice, this one's kind of teetering backwards. Reason being, it's not designed to be stand up. I think that's a very overlooked part of this bench. Why they didn't do that, I don't know. But as you can see, this guy is very similar to the Rogue version that's over there. The price on this is $559. The price on the Rogue is $595. That doesn't include $65 shipping, at least to me, and that doesn't include the also stainless component here, which is on that one. That's additional. This one is $559, but includes the stainless. So when you compare all the options and free shipping, so it may look on page like they're similar, but in reality, this one is a bit cheaper. A few things I'll note. Number one, in the flat bench position, it's very solid. It's a tripod design, which is nice. You want a bench that goes all the way up to shoulder. This one does have an 85 degree. One thing you'll notice oftentimes is the top mark is actually 90 degree. The problem with that, when you're shoulder pressing, it's very uncomfortable because people oftentimes have shoulder issues or your head gets in the way. So a lot of these have 85 degree at the top, some have 90, I'll call them out. Also, the grippy vinyl. This is a similar, if not the exact same grippy vinyl that you see on most companies today. Titan has it, Rep has it. It's a very nice grippy vinyl, works well. Foam is good too. It is a very firm bench pad. Some people like a softer one, like what Prime Fitness has, but this one's pretty firm. And then there's some other just nice details like knurling here, laser cut logos, stainless ladder, a lot of adjustments. It's a good bench, but honestly, I don't really recommend it. It doesn't stand up. The price isn't that much different than Rogue. If I was gonna spend this much on a bench, I would probably just go with the Rogue one because it's from Rogue. It's gonna have a lifetime warranty. It's made in the USA. It's higher quality and it's not that much more expensive. So although I like this bench, it also doesn't stand up. And that's like a deal breaker for me. Next, get out of your bench. Next is the Titan Series bench. The Titan Series bench is a very good bench.
Hell, this ain't no tree. Here's a tree. This here is a tree.
This is the bench. This is what I would say in the value orientation. This isn't actually my top pick amongst these for most of you, although this was up until not that long ago. One thing I'll call out, if you notice this vinyl, I'm talking about the vinyl being the same. So notice how that vinyl is there, and then notice the vinyl here. I say similar because I don't actually know if it's the same. It's not like I've seen the factory, but in person it's like it feels the same. But it's a very good vinyl. It's very grippy. This bench is cheaper than that one. This is 450 bucks. Oftentimes with sales, it retails for like 490 or something, but typically you find it for 450. You can sometimes find it for less even. Free shipping. It's a very heavy bench, extremely solid, even more solid than that guy. It has a welded gusset right here, which not only has a cool like Titan logo, but also it makes for a very solid bench. Instead of using stainless, I don't think this is stainless. They don't say it anywhere on their site. I can't find it. I believe it's bright zinc coated railing. It has a ton of options for adjustments. Again, the 85 degrees. It has their nice anodized with laser etched logos on there. Also stands up with a knurled handle and oversized wheels. It's a very good bench, but honestly, up until this point, this is the one I most often recommended. It had some things that I didn't love. One of those is this hinge right here is oversized. It causes a bigger gap. The back pad's big enough that you could just flat bench on there, but there's a lot of times where you just don't want to line it up. You just want to put it there and then bench. So having that there, it's just like a little too tall. The other thing is it's got these wheel chocks back here. So when you're moving it, yes, Wednesday, when you're moving it, it just got basically, it gets in the way. So Sam is always complaining about this every time he has to move it, because once you go up past this point right here, it just drags. So you got to make sure you put it down low when you're moving it, because it just gets in the way. But it is nice for when it stands up. But if you're looking for this bench design, I really think these two are kind of like, I would say, your budget and ultra budget options. This one, you've probably never even seen this one. It's from Living Fit. Living Fit! This is a $390 bench. So a few things you'll notice. One, it's shorter overall, so it's using less steel. It's one reason they can make it cheaper. It is using a lot of similar ideas as the Titan Series bench. But if you're looking for something that's cheaper, it's not like crazy cheaper at $390. But Living Fit, again, very similar to Titan, often has sales too and discount codes, so you can get it for even less than that. But it's offering a lot of the same stuff that you can find from, say, the Rogue bench, Adjustable Bench 3.0, the Titan bench, the Xmark bench, at a cheaper price without some of just the details if you're not really caring a lot about that. An example is, rather than having the anodized aluminum handles, they've just got these basically rubberized handles that go over the top of the metal. Instead of having knurled like they have on the Xmark, they've got these. It's using, though, I do want to say, the same vinyl, the grippy vinyl that so many of the companies are using. It does have a pretty minimal, for the price point, gap between the seat pad and the bench pad. In fact, the Titan one is bigger and it has the bigger hinge. This one is a little bit smaller, so something more akin to what you find with very expensive benches. It's not gonna be as small as the Rogue one, but it's not like that big. It does have many seat options and quite a few back options. One thing I will say, again, this is a little bit annoying, is instead of having an 85-degree upright, it's actually 90 degrees, which is so, it just does not feel good when you're doing shoulder press. So you can go back to the 75, which isn't like a huge deal, but man, I really like that 85 degree. Now there is some like comfort features. For instance, they use a knurled handle on the front, which is nice. It does have a full stand-up feature, and it has like UHMW or rubber protection right here and on the back. These are just two rubber pads and oversized chalk wheels. And it also does have a laser cut logo. One thing I will say I don't like about this bench is the seat pad. If you notice, my legs, and every leg I've ever seen, it comes to a point. It's not really shaped for my legs. If you notice, most adjustable benches, you want it kind of angled out of the way so you're not like fighting that. Well, this one is just a square pad. It not only looks kind of goofy, but it also feels pretty bad. So if they were gonna make a change, that's definitely something I would add. And you notice all the other benches have the angled pad. So for the price point, I think this is a good budget option if you're looking for this style bench and don't want to spend as much. But then if you're like, Coop, I really want that bench style, but I want very cheap, then that's this guy. This is the Synergee adjustable bench. This definitely feels like a step down from the rest of these. You can just look at it.
Would you look at that?
It feels that way, feeling it looks that way, but it's also cheaper. It retails at $300, similar to the other companies. Synergee often has sales. You can buy this one on Amazon. You can buy the Xmark on Amazon. You can buy the Living Fit on Amazon too. It has looser tolerances. So you can see right here, it's much looser. It's missing many of like the higher end features that you see from the other ones. Not as thick or as wide of a down tube, which means there's just more like movement. The red looks kind of cool, kind of pops off of the black. It does though have the 85 degrees at the top, which is nice, but the bench pad and the vinyl is really bad. So this vinyl is just very slick. You can look at it. The bench pad is pretty firm and there's just like more movement, bigger gap. You get what you pay for. So when you go with the more expensive ones. So do I like this bench? Yeah, I think it's okay for the price. You should also look at like Rep AB 4100, which is gonna be a little bit more expensive, around the $400 mark. But if you're looking to hit that $300 mark and want this bench style, this is actually a pretty good option. My recommendation would be save a little bit more and at least get the Living Fit. I think that's just a better version. It's gonna last longer. You're gonna like the vinyl a lot better. That bench is probably my pick for this style, for those that are on a budget. And then if you have a little bit more, obviously you can go up. I'd probably avoid the Xmark completely with the other options that are available. I'd then go to the Titan, and then if you want made in the USA, go with Rogue. Obviously you have to consider the rep options, but if I'm looking at these ladder styles based on the Rogue Adjustable Bench 3.0, these are kind of what I'm looking at. But we've done a full tier list breaking down every bench that's on the market, including ones I haven't mentioned here, like many of the rep benches. You can see that as well as how they all compare in a previous video. But if you'd like to see any more cheap, more budget-ended bench reviews, say that 5 times fast, budget-ended review, I can't do it. But if you'd like to see more of those, let me know in the comments. This has been Coop from Garage Reviews. I'll see you next time. Peace.